As you can probably tell, I am not in my normal location, so for the rest of the week, I'm going to be in some random room somewhere in the middle of New York. New Yorkers enjoying a morning shower in their $10,000 a month studio apartment. I can now confirm this is actually how it is. And they're not even talking about how literally everything here also costs like twice as much. Studying my country's history versus studying the lore of a random fictional universe. This is an interesting meme because apparently a lot of other people feel this way, but I'm like the exact opposite. I normally do not care at all about fictional universes. But at the very same time, I'll watch a 10-hour documentary about the fall of Yugoslavia and not even move a muscle. Godzilla, if he showed up on the Australian coast instead of Japan. Yeah, instantly, if this giant lizard showed up to that continent, it'd be domesticated and like a new pet for someone in like 3 days. China, after censoring the word censorship. You think that's crazy? Just wait until they censor China. Can't criticize the country if you can't even say the country's name. Russia be like, don't you freaking dare join NATO or I'll attack you. Meanwhile, Finland and Sweden now, right? It's almost like Russia's entire plan is just completely backfiring. I can't believe he would cheat on me. Meanwhile, damn, I love Monopoly. Now that's understandable. Like, babe, I would never mess around with another girl, but you do gotta watch my love for board games. Americans, when they realize there are other countries than Russia, Mexico, and China. I mean, give us a little bit of credit. A lot of the times we remember we border Canada, but yeah, I mean, besides that, this is pretty much correct. Sometimes I do try to give the US a pass. I mean, we're so geographically isolated. It's a little understandable that a lot of people never learn anything outside of those 4 countries. But you live in Europe and there's like 7 different nations in like a 4-hour radius. Me watching the son of the ousted dictator who stole billions from our economy, enable martial law, leaving thousands dead, leaving our country poor and tattered, lead the presidential elections. Okay, I'm assuming this is the Philippines. I had no idea we should be investing in this country for memes. I've just seen so much now. Interviewer, do you have any questions for us? Me, where do you see your company in the next 5 years? This is actually a perfectly valid question, especially if it's a small company. Like, are y'all still gonna even be around in 5 years? I'd like to still have a job. Virgin American money. Left in the laundry, it's all gone. Made out of paper. One inconvenience can destroy it all. Very fragile to anything without a wallet, all the same, and hard to know which is which. Versus Chad, Australian money. Easy to know how much it is by its color. New notes look better and hard to counterfeit. One of the most advanced currencies developed and difficult to rip apart too. What? How? Water resistant? Okay, yeah, what are we doing? I know we tried to do color money, remember that? But I like how bright it is in Australia. I mean, it's almost a little too bright, but you know what? Why not? I feel like no one keeps cash on them anyways, so you might as well make it like a moment. Like it's a legendary event when someone pulls out these bills. Fun fact, there's also a misprint of 46 million of our new $50 bills where they spelled responsibility wrong. Oh, this is in Australia, the latest $50 note. That's even more Chad though. They don't even care about spell check. World leaders, I would fight to the death for my country. Also world leaders when war starts. Most of the time this is accurate, but when they don't do this, nah, that's epic. Redditors loving Queen Elizabeth for being 96 years old. All the while, Jimmy Carter in the background. Jimmy Carter retired since 1981 after he was president, and he is now 97 years old. Yeah, no one really talks about this. And I didn't even know about it until like a month or 2 ago. This man's just out there building houses. Like, that's just what he's been doing for a while. Are you suffering, son? Yes, father. I am so thankful for my pain. Without it, my happiness would mean nothing. This is one of those like philosophical memes. Pain can be used for good. Flight is at 4 p.m. My dad at 2000 BCE. Wake up! We only have 10,000 years to make it to the airport! Dads literally evolved just so they could make it to the airport in time. Had literally nothing to do with natural selection. What an epic Garfield shirt. Don't ask me. I'm offline in Bulgaria. I would absolutely buy this if I saw this in a store. There is no doubt this is great merch. Why am I not selling something like this? I meet someone. We talk. We commit war crimes together. She stays. There is no vicious cycle here, boys. You want a true connection with another human being, just commit crimes like this. British-French rivalry? We're the most iconic rivals in history. Yes, responds France. Or wait, which one is France? Which one is... I think this is the French side. Meanwhile, the Roman-Persian rivalry. At it again. Yeah, they don't even respond to that. It's just all so tiresome. Smart alert. Keys. It looks like you left South Korea without keys. Was this alert helpful by any chance? I love how specific it was. You left South Korea without, quote, keys. Is this gonna be a problem at all and send your life into a downward spiral? Don't forget to rate us on the App Store. Tell a German, I'll see you later. He asks, what time? It's one of my favorite parts about meeting a German. They are very literal people. And from what I hear, it sounds like they're so humorless that it's actually funny. Or maybe that's just their dry sense of humor. I don't know. Like, if you miss Pangea. Ooh, ooh. I definitely miss Pangea. Those were the days. Literally everyone was just a lot closer together. Now it just feels like we're all so far apart. I don't know if I ever talked about the time that I literally figured out plate tectonics for myself before I even learned about it. I know this is gonna sound crazy and no one's gonna believe me, but I did. We were always forced to read silently after lunch for 20 minutes, but I of course didn't do that. I just sat there staring at a map pretending to read. Again, not a joke. And I noticed that Brazil almost fits perfectly against the west coast of Africa. I was like 9 years old and I blew my own mind. I had to tell the teacher like, hey, does anyone know about this? I am pretty sure South America was touching Africa at one point. I remember that teacher didn't even care at all. Real question. If your mom's phone number turned into money, how much money would you have? Spidey with the 40 chess play. Let's see how that works out for him. Eating the lifeless bodies of my neighbors. Also me, eating the dark part of a banana. I mean, I thought this was everybody. Just like biting into a freshly beating heart. Very satisfying. But that dark stuff on a banana, I don't know where that's been. Sane and ordinary people becoming the most toxic humans imaginable after spending 0.02 seconds on Twitter. If you didn't know, the recipe for success on that website is just to say the most ludicrous statements ever, and that's how you obtain a following. Like, you have to say things that no one else is willing to say, and that is what's created such a horrible place. MFers in the 50s when the entire world gains color right in front of them. No one talks about this enough. Like, yeah, World War II was pretty crazy, but you gotta remember at that time, they were only seen in black and white. It's really hard to see the enemy when you're only looking at different shades of gray. So glad the TV industry came out with color 10 years later though. The hot women at the community pool after I finished my 3-hour speech about the Industrial Revolution and its consequences. Every day I am literally reminded of this topic and it's pretty rough. Only another reason to go back to hunting and gathering. School should teach us how to do taxes. MFers, when they actually get taught how to do taxes, they literally just fall asleep instantly. I feel like this is your actual reaction for like the first couple years, and then you start realizing, wait, they're taking how much? The Starbucks employee, after I ask for an extra shot of gunpowder in my latte. I don't know why he's in his underwear. I'm not a barista. That took me literally 2 seconds to understand. Sometimes being in your underwear does help with the coffee making process. You just have to go to the authentic Starbucks out there. It's hard to find. Muslims in the British Empire waiting for the sun to set so they can eat. This is probably why they decided to gain their independence from the British Empire. It just obviously wasn't gonna work. Me staring at my mother after she revealed my deepest, darkest secrets for the tiniest bit of adult clout during the family reunion. Thank you for betraying my trust, mother. I will literally hold on to this grudge for the next 30 years. And you wonder why I don't come around, woman. Guys thinking of all the future possibilities after meeting a girl for 5 seconds. We're gonna get married, we're gonna have 3 children. I actually feel like everyone kind of does this though. Me, don't look too fast, but see the guy over there? My entire family. Even to an extent, this is a little bit too casual. Like, it looks pretty cool and natural for all this. I don't think it accurately represents how fast, like, the next turn, like, me giving great advice to people knowing damn well I won't take it myself. Do as I say, not as I do. I give the greatest advice, but my life is in shambles. Me hitting on a random girl says that she likes my lonely best friend who never had a girlfriend before. Now this is a true buddy. This is a homie for life. Peter Parker listening to Harry Osborn poop talk Spider-Man knowing full well that the Green Goblin died because of his own glider. This brings a whole nother level to also Green Goblin pressuring Harry Osborn to like do something. Like, bro, literally anything Harry does is probably going to be better than what you did. You literally offed yourself. Me reading the news while my parents are fighting in the background, wondering which will collapse first, my family or the economy. Probably be a wombo combo, the economy and family, right around the same time. The one person in your school project, there's always that one guy. Literally has to be carried by the rest of them. Sometimes it's even more though. Sometimes it's literally just one dog in the head of the pack and all 3 of them are doing this. What is wrong with this dog? Should someone check on it? When you get a girlfriend and your high school crush confesses she likes you. Not now, not now! I love the new renaissance of Breaking Bad memes. It's becoming like American Psycho level of iconic right now. Muhammad Ali, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. And the jellyfish took this to heart. Jellyfish out here built their entire identity around this phrase. Now that's true dedication. Eating like everyone else versus strategically placing every bite so that the best part comes last and your mouth remembers it. What? What is this? Why am I weirdly disgusted, but I want to know more? I don't even really understand what he's talking about. Tom made a delicious pie. Meanwhile, Jerry, what weird show. Tom and Jerry was such a strange show, but it seems like we all pretty much watched it, even though it's pretty old school. My dad, don't worry, I can fix it. My dad, 30 seconds later. Don't forget, if he asked for your help, like you were the one that had to hold the flashlight next to him, you had to witness this whole thing and then be traumatized. You're like in tears, but still trying to hold it upright. A little bit of emotional trauma. We have to all go through it. Mom, go play with the neighbor's kid. The neighbor's kid. Actually, nah, I think I want to play with this neighbor's kid. He's looking like he's having a blast. My chemistry teacher, when I'm filling out the periodic table and put argon in the wrong place. More like under knee. I can't believe at one point in time I actually knew all the placement of the periodic table. Why was I even taught that? When the Japanese company with Japanese developers somehow crafts insightful commentary on today's USA with a plot based on cyborg sword fighting. Pan is the only media I consume nowadays. That's totally not true. I just wanted to say that. Some cavemen at 10,000 BC deciding that men shouldn't show their emotions. They are creating society rules that are going to influence all future generations. There's actually a lot to be said about this concept. Who would have guessed that there are still some things we do today where we were just influenced by people that only could say unga bunga? What a wonderful day for a Oh, good heavens. Yeah, don't you ever try to send a drone back to the Middle Ages. It's not going to go very well. You're going to roll up one day to the town's execution to get a nice view, and this is exactly what's going to happen to you. Democrats and Republicans fighting which side is correct, or something. I don't know. I'm not American. My country has its own political problems as well. Also, I know nothing about American politics. By the way, my country elected a former dictator's son who's also corrupt like his father. Oh, it's all back to the Philippines. That's right. I wasn't expecting that one, though. North Dakota and South Dakota joining forces to become Megakota. Wait, which one is the North and which one is... I think I'm just going to go ahead and say this man is the North. Just wait till the Carolinas do the same thing, but you ain't seen nothing until Mega Virginia. When you spent your impoverished life working as a poorly paid cattle farmer in American West, but popular culture portrays you as criminals that rob banks and cheat at poker. When you spent your impoverished life working as poorly paid cattle... Who are they talking about? American West. Cowboys also don't have grudges against space rangers. Oh, you're talking about cowboys in general. I feel like cowboys aren't always portrayed as robbing banks, though. Brazil welcoming the Philippines to countries that, are basically having a lot of trouble. Welcome to the club, buddy. We have free donuts on Tuesday. They're calling it now Asian Brazil. Citizens from Copenhagen when citizens from Copenhagen walk in. I feel very dumb, but I think this one's just gonna have to go over my head. Copenhagen, I'm not even gonna try. Is this a joke in a different language? Average toilet in Japan. It's literally like Jarvis. Every toilet in Japan is basically Jarvis. They're sitting there like Robert Downey Jr. Pretty epic. And big thanks to, by saying this, I agree to be a sussy baka LuxembourgLover. Drew's Argentinian fat grandpa. Nuts. Alex Whitley is Mega Chad. Alfonso M6. aPhatNarwhal. Angel Bisono. Barnsky W. bringbackpolandball. XD. Jocko Majestic Unicorn. Marco Hindera. Max Cooper. Mimoshiki. 5610. Philipp RF. Robert E. RyeThePie. The Mexican 760. Why am I doing this? William the Conqueror. Thank you.